Many white people feel an unspoken ownership over black bodies, similar to how many straight men feel ownership over women's bodies. And that entitlement is amplified when they drink alcohol or take stimulants or steroids. With what's coming out about the last hours of Nolan Xavier Wells, this is video number 1 in my series about the hidden dangers of being the only black friend. If you're new here, my name is Zakiya Young, and I am Suburban Black Girl. Now, women know how terrifying it can be to reject a man, especially if he's drunk. You know that energy can shift from flirty to enraged in an instant. And the same thing can happen to black people at white parties. And my mom was always worried about this happening to me when I was in college. And one day she asked how I could feel comfortable being around drunk white people. Wasn't I afraid they'd call me the N-word? I thought she was being naive because she doesn't drink, or that she was overreacting because she grew up in the Jim Crow South. But it didn't stop her from calling my dorm room every 30 minutes if I hadn't called her to say goodnight so she could make sure I had gotten home safely. And when it comes to invitations to parties thrown by rich white people, if you're a black athlete, and especially if you're a guy who played football in the Deep South, you are always invited because you're like a local celebrity. Though parties thrown by white teenagers are known for drug use, Nolan's parents were adamant that he wasn't taking any substances because he had football trials that Monday at his college, and drug screening is part of that process. When substances are consumed in a space where there is only one black person, racist shit will happen. And no, your children will not tell you about it, even if you're close, because they do not yet know how to process this type of friendly fire. Additionally, because of the theory that fears get passed from our ancestors to us through our DNA, it stands to reason that even if you don't see yourself as racist, even if you have a black friend, and even if you voted twice for Obama, if you descended from people who used their fear of Africans to justify slavery and segregation, your inherited belief in white dominance lays dormant. And if left unchecked, it's just waiting for the right amount of intoxication and anger to activate it. And when that level is reached, you say something racist. And as the lone black person, you're making a split-second decision about how to respond. Like, maybe you've brushed stuff off like this in the past because you're outnumbered, but if and when you do clap back and things escalate to a brawl, you cannot assume that anybody's gonna have your back. And no, it is not the same as two drunk white guys beating each other up, because people will break up that fight. But if you're a black guy kicking a white guy's ass, white people won't break up the fight. They'll jump in and fight you, because the herd mentality always protects whiteness. Black anger frightens white people. That's why they had to invent the stereotype of black people not being able to control their anger, like the angry black woman, but we'll talk about that in another video. And those people who are shouting or filming from the sidelines are too cowardly to admit they don't like you enough to risk bodily harm for you. And that's where many of you who are watching this video sit. Too cowardly to risk bodily harm, relationships, or discomfort to make sure that black people are protected in your spaces. And your avoidance makes you complicit.